colonize me and take a cattle colony in my state. I think expressions at times, the use of words, the language you use to express yourself at times may go a long way to convey your true intention. So, and I think if you have to disabuse the minds of the people, come to terms. Let's reach a compromise. Okay, you want a cattle colony. I don't want a cattle colony in my own state. Okay, what do you want? I want ranches. Let's cooperate. You could call it, those who don't mind, if it is called cattle colony, call it cattle colony. Those who disagree with you that they don't want a colony in their state, you also have to show understanding. But you cannot insist that it must be cattle colony across the federation if it's unacceptable to them. If I want to give my land to you, I will give the land on the conditions that are acceptable to me, not on conditions that you impose on me to give you my own land. I don't think it makes sense.
This suggestion that you've given, that the states should enact their own laws and all of that, do you think it's something that can work across board for all states, especially when you consider the peculiarities of each state?
You see, if you look at the sociology of lawmaking, before the law is passed, it goes through different stages. The public hearing, the herdsmen will be invited. They will also make input into the law. It's a question of solving a problem that is festering and which could lead to serious insecurity across the nation. So there might be modifications from state to state, but the central theme of such a law is that the herdsmen should be registered in each state, and they must wear their faces when they move across the state.
I want us to move on to issues of the legal profession, especially discipline in the profession. Recently, the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee, LPPC, moved against 2 lawyers on ethical issues. Let's get an overview of the role of the LPDC, the LPPC, and even the NBA, because I've heard some lawyers argue that this action as carried out by the LPPC should have been done by the LPDC, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, and that perhaps it calls into question the fact that the body of lawyers does not have the capacity to deal with senior lawyers, and that's why the LPPC would intervene.
The legal profession is a regulated profession, okay? It is regulated by law. There's a statute regulating the legal profession. You have the Nigerian Bar Association, which is an association of all lawyers. You have the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, and then you have the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee. They have their rules. The Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee confer the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria on legal practitioners. That is a privilege, okay? And the privilege comes with duties, just as it confers certain rights and privileges on you. The Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee takes care of all lawyers. The Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee deals only with Senior Advocates of Nigeria. A Senior Advocate of Nigeria has a super-added obligation as to the standard of conduct expected of him at the bar. A conduct that a counsel may not be found guilty of may necessarily be against a Senior Advocate of Nigeria if carried out by him, by the rules applicable to the Senior Advocates of Nigeria.
So they have a higher standard.
That is what the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee is saying, that the SANs have a super added obligation as to the conduct, standard of conduct expected of them. Because if you enjoy privileges, you must also have super added obligation. That is the rule. I don't agree that it is the same level, because you wear the silk, you are entitled to certain privileges in court, so also you must also be subjected to a higher level of standard of conduct. And that's exactly what they are saying. So now coming to the question of the withdrawal of rank, if it is a privilege, okay, subject to certain rules and standard of conduct, if a member of that rank is considered to have fallen below the standard of conduct, it is the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee that is concerned. Because the same conduct may not be applicable, or the same standard of conduct may not be applicable to other counsel. which the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee deals with. So there are two separate bodies. But what you should bear in mind is that whereas a senior advocate of Nigeria is subject to two levels of discipline, that is, at the level of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee and at the level of the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee, the council, the other council is only subject to one level of discipline. And that is the difference. So every senior advocate of Nigeria must appreciate the fact that you have a super-added obligation as to the standard of conduct expected of you. And the earlier we begin to adjust ourselves, the better for everyone.
Would you agree with those who say that the high moral and ethical standards in the legal profession that was the order of the day in the past has somewhat dropped from what it used to be?
When you talk of morals, I would say yes. I would say yes. And there might be a number of reasons accountable for that. If you look at the population of lawyers that are in practice today, there's an explosion of the number of lawyers. And usually when you have an explosion like that, the level of discipline, you need greater structures, more expansive structures to be able to cope with the number of lawyers that are involved. In the past, it used to be said that the legal profession is a very conservative profession. Now you see lawyers on the social media doing all sorts of things. In the past, such things were not in existence. So how do you regulate the kind of post that a lawyer can put on the social media? Is it conduct that he engages in while dealing with clients or while appearing before a judge or in a court premises outside the legal profession? Those are issues that are evolving. So many things you see on the platform, different platforms that lawyers post there that you don't expect a lawyer to do. But if the current rules can't cope, and you see, we are lawyers anyway, if you raise the point, they will say, show me which of the rules forbid that type of posting. But I think there's a need to review the regulatory regime.